What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about waders. These are hunting waders we got here lined up. We got 5 different pairs. Cabelas, Winchester, TideWe, High and Dry, and Drake. And today we're going to run through each wader, give you our thoughts, what we like, what we don't like. We're going to talk about cost, we're going to talk about durability and leakage proof, comfortability, warranty,
installation, features, the whole shebang. So you are not going to want to miss this video, and hopefully if you're in the market for any one of these waders, we can help you out and give you some insight. And at the end of the video, you'll decide which wader we've chosen to use. With that being said, stay tuned for today's video. Okay, so first up we have Cabelas neoprene. They're 6mm neoprene, maybe 3 or 6. I think it's one of those. Basically, you can get these on sale for around $100. This pair right here is probably 5-6 years old. They're good waders. They're cheap. However, they can last years or they can last a day. The reason being is, I've owned a couple pairs of these over the years, and in the first opening day of duck season, I sit on a bog and you get a nice little needle right through the butt. I mean, right here, I've got them taped up. I've glued them and taped them. They last, it's super hit or miss. So, and plus another thing, they're very, very warm. So early season, you die in these things. Essentially, I keep them now for going to scout a new area, and I don't really want to try and beat up a nice pair, or we're going to be working on the river. This is what probably my go-to is. Boots are comfortable. They do have some Thinsulate in them. Like I said, these pairs are a couple years old, so I'm not sure if they are still translated out to what they sell now, but just your real basic stretchy straps. They got a hanger here in the back and one dump pocket on the inside with some holes in the bottom that drain. But other than that, no hip belt, nothing like that. Very, very basic pair of waders. They will keep you dry, but like I said, they can last a couple years, or the first day you use them, you can poke a hole in them. It's hit or miss. I've had them break the first day I've used them, and I've had them last 2 seasons. So that's the neoprene Cabelas waders.
Alrighty, so our next pair is a Winchester neoprene. These are a 1,600 gram Thinsulate boot, similar 5 or 6mm thick. They're a little bit higher end than the Cabelas neoprene. That these ones retail from 100 to 150. I got it for like, I think 130. Good boot, similar to the Cabelas ones. It's hit or miss. Sometimes you can manage to get a couple duck seasons out of these. Sometimes you can go out your first week and put a hole in them. I got one in the back. Leaked probably the first or second month I had them, but
Let me get eyes on that. Oof. That's a perfect telltale sign right there, finger hole.
I use these waders now for the most part, just doing maintenance and stuff on the river, or if we're trying to clear a duck pond and we know there's a bunch of sticks and brush in there. So these boots, like I said, are 1,600. They're warm, the sole is pretty good traction, nothing crazy, but I've never had too many problems with the boot leaking or coming apart. So that's one good thing I will say about these waders. They do take forever to dry out, like most waders. Once I get wet in the bottom of these boots, it takes a good solid week for them to get dry again. So, but you'll find that in most neoprene waders.
Unless you got a big old boot dryer.
Unless you got a boot driver. I'm not that fancy though. So Velcro straps, nothing crazy. They work. They stay put. They don't really come off. I got a pocket in the front. I usually throw a couple shells or a phone or something. Small hand warmer, nothing crazy. Does not have a belt, but it does have these little inserts where you can put a belt through. So overall, these are a decent pair of neoprene waders. I've used them for I think 2 or 3 seasons now. They've leaked a little bit since the first season. I've always just patched them up as best as I could. All right, so next pair of waders we have here are the TideWe 100% polyester, 1,400 gram insulation, breathable. So while testing these waders, one thing we noticed is the softness of these boots. I mean, me just squeezing them, you can see there feels like there's no structure there. It just it's like mush almost. So we expect these boots honestly to leak within another couple uses or something. So that's one of the things that we were highly skeptical of, these boots lasting a few seasons without getting a hole in them. So I mean, you can just look at, that's not something you want to see. TideWe waders, now you know.
Alrighty guys, so now we're kind of transitioning into the more streamlined and higher end waders. We're gonna start off with this heavy hitter right here. This is the high and dry waders. So over the past year or two, we've heard a lot about these waders through friends, other people in Arkansas, mutual friends, many people trying them out, and we decided to give them a shot and blown away. Going into it, we've always just used kind of waders that we could find on sale and different deals like that, or stuff like the Drake waders. And for us, like most people, you would think hand warmer pockets and extra stitching for all different types of things are fancy and nice, shell holders, all stuff like that. They're very appealing. However, after studying waders a little bit deeper and watching the High and Dry's story behind their waders, you kind of understand a little bit more about them, and you'll come to realize that their waders are very well thought through and high end as far as not wanting to leak and commercial grade quality. So jumping into the High and Dry's, these specifically right here are the 1500 gram boots. Now they're fully insulated all around, and if I didn't mention before, they are breathables. So as you can tell, they have these fancy front knee pads. There is a slight piece of foam in there for protection, and these are also Kevlar material. Now, feeling it and stuff, you're like, oh man, I might be able to rip them. Think again, buddy. I beaver trapped in these, hunted in flooded timber in Arkansas in these, hunted in swamps here in New Jersey and on the East Coast, and I was trying to see if I could break a hole in them this year, or last season, and I couldn't. Normally, if you're trying to rip a hole in your waders, you can do it in a second. I couldn't do it. These, blasting through beaver swamps and stuff, they have chewings everywhere. Any trappers out there know everything is sharp and everything's out to get you. I was kneeling on all types of thorns, everything. These withheld, and I do not have a leak. Very impressed. So, the knee pads, awesome. The Kevlar, very awesome. So the whole other thing behind High and Dry is more stitching is more spots for leaks. So that's why you're gonna find a minimal amount of features, because the less stitching and seams in the waders, the less spots that they can leak. That's the whole thing behind these. So on the inside here, you just have one open, no insulation dump pocket, or kangaroo pocket with a drain hole in the bottom. Then you go in here, you got a really nice dump pocket inside of that I usually put my phone in, and it's got a really nice tight latch that stays dry. Then on the inside, you also have a waterproof phone case if you'd like to use that. Now, like I said, no insulation in these waders. So they're 100, besides the boots. Other than that, there's no insulation, which going into them, I was a little bit skeptical, because I know late season when it's cold, it can be nice to have these stitched in or removable liners like the Drakes. However, if you layer properly, I found it really wasn't an issue. Going into season, it was a big concern of mine. Coming out of it, not a concern at all anymore. So as long as you layer properly, you're totally fine. And that goes for standing in waist deep water when it's 15 degrees outside in Arkansas, flooded timber. So that's awesome. Now, some things that we are not a huge fan about, but is an easy fix, was the straps. Now, as you can tell, this is a brand new pair of waders here. These straps are long. The theory behind these is once you get them set up to where your body is, you can just cut them and you burn them. That way they don't fringe up at the end. So like these here, you could snip them a couple inches above, burn them, and you're good to go, and then they're not dangling around in front of you. That's what you can do with those. So one other thing we want to touch on here is the hip belt in the back. They have different height adjustments, which is good. just for allowing it to fit other people. But I did find that it was sometimes an issue if you're getting in or out, or you just put your waders on, these could slide out and fall out. So having them on either side where the hip belt can hang at 2 points, I think is a better option. I believe in their new zippered waders, they have addressed that and they do have more pockets on the side, but however these don't. It's not a huge deal breaker for me, but I know some people it might not affect at all because they don't wear it. So I just wanted to throw that out there. But as far as everything else goes, maneuverability, we walked very far in these waders, and like I said, as long as you have the right boot size, very comfortable. I guess sizing itself is, at least for me, I'm a pretty easy guy to fit into waders. They fit me well. So other than that, flexibility, maneuverability, all that was really good, and we never had any leaks. So I know Will and I are both very pleased. And a big thing I want to touch on, these are not $1,000 waders. These are affordable waders. I believe these retail for $350. So it's a very, very good option if you want waders that don't leak. That's the whole reason why you wear them. So the big fancy features, if you want other features, get a hand mitt, get something that clips onto the loops here if you want shells or whatever. It's not a huge deal breaker. These are the real deal. The warranty on the high and dry waders, they offer a 1-year manufacturing defect warranty. So as far as the other brands, you don't get any warranties, but high and dry, you get 1-year warranty as far as manufacturing defects. So that is a bonus. You get at least a year out of them. Okay, finally guys, here we have the Drake Guardian Elite Series. These are 1,600 gram insulated boots. Now, these have a lot of features on them. They've got dual zippers here for pockets on the side. Now you can tell these have been used and abused. Don't put anything in that pocket right there. Let's try this side. Yeah, you ain't gonna want to put nothing in there either. So, I mean, that's like something right there is worn out. As far as the hip belt here, this is in 3 locations, 1 on either side.
Which we like.
Which we like. Now, if you see how when you take that off and it just dangles there nicely, that's nice. So these are zippable. If you can tell on the inside, early season, late season, you can wear them for both because they have removable liners. There's Velcro in there where the liners slip into. You know, when you take your feet out, occasionally they'll come off with the waders inside, so that's kind of a downfall. However, if you do get wet inside, you can remove them to dry, so that helps. The boots are comfortable, but as far as the traction goes, they really don't have the best traction. They're kind of a wider lug on them, and they kind of slip a little bit, but they are pretty comfortable. The zipper still works really well on these guys. It's definitely a little bit more tough. It probably needs a little bit of lube. But as soon as you get these guys up, there is a button there to latch. Right there. You do have accessory hooks that you can hang stuff off of. And then as far as everything else goes, now you can tell there's a lot of seams. These are very prone to leak in the butt crack and around the knees. There's no extra padding here or anything, so you have to be careful when you're kneeling down. There's no extra stitching or anything on there, or knee patch or anything like that. So in this general area around the seam here, they tend to leak. I mean, you can tell in these right here, there's some wear mark just from rubbing up on stuff. That's another spot for just prone to leak. I mean, no wader is indestructible, and it's all about how you treat them. As long as you're drying them properly and you're using them, they all should work for a while. But as far as this goes, there is another hand warmer that goes behind here. That zipper is also ripped off. This stitching is ripped a little bit here. That's the spot where it's going to leak. But this spot here too, the zipper's also gone. So I guess the zippers right here aren't the greatest quality, but there is an insulated fleece grid for your pockets, which is nice. But like I said, these waders have probably a season or 2 on them, and there are spots where they do leak, or they're very close to leaking. So This isn't my personal pair, it's a buddy's, but that's just some of the things we've gathered and hunted with and noticed over the years. So, okay, so to finish up the Guardian Elite series, these retail for around $450. And one thing that you do get with the Drake waders is you get a 3-year warranty. So I believe on their website it claims it's a strap to sole warranty. I know that they have stood by it. My buddy has sent them in once or twice and he's gotten a new pair. So the price is more than the High and Dries. You're looking at another $100 from High and Dries, but as far as the warranty goes, that's a pretty good deal. Alrighty guys, so we hope this review slash insight on the waders gives you a better idea if you had your eye on a certain pair here on which to buy. Like I said, you can always kind of find some sales and stuff, but as far as what Will and I are wearing, we're going to be wearing the High and Dries. We wore them last year, we're going to wear them this year again and for the years to come, because I mean, we haven't had a single issue. The customer service, the company, they're really great people and everything, so we're really excited to wear them. So like I said, this season that's what we're going to be wearing. So other than that, we hope this video helped you out. If you have any questions about anything you see here or anything else, leave us a comment down below and we'll try to get back to you if we know any insight or anything like that on the waders that you might be looking for. Other than that, if you wouldn't mind, like this video and subscribe to the channel. Guys, we got a lot of content coming up for this hunting season. Be on the lookout for some of those videos and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.